I never knew love like this before. That was Stephanie Mills. You are listening to the beginning of the new Super Sound Showcase on WMBG. I am your host, Robert Hodge, and I have a very special guest today. She has just yesterday celebrated her 21st birthday. So this is your first appearance as a legal woman.
Yes.
All right.
Absolutely.
Here is Kate Stedelbauer. Welcome back, my dear.
Thank you for
It's
having
been almost
me.
a year since Ty had you on the original Super Sound Showcase.
Yes.
And it is my turn, so I'm thrilled to death. You have created quite a reputation for yourself in the past year.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I hope so. I think so.
Well,
Fingers
your name
crossed.
is out there. You're performing in a lot of high-profile places. People are coming to your shows. Tell me what it's like to have that kind of fan base now, because they are supporting you all over the place.
Yeah. It's amazing because when I started doing this, it was such a scary thing to step out and kind of do this thing that no one really my age was doing. I only have a few friends that want to go out and play music that are my age, and so it's empowering, and it's what I want to do for the rest of my life. So the fact that I have progressed feels awesome.
What do you think is the reason for the progression? Is it just that you're doing it all the time, or are you practicing more? Are you just more determined? What?
I think it's a combination, because the more I've done this, the more determined I've become, and as I've learned more, I progress. And as whether it's meeting people, getting more performing experience, I started playing with a band, and so that's been really helpful for my stage presence and talking to audiences and stuff. So it's just a combination of all those things. I've really learned a lot. And
how was the adjustment from going from solo to a band member?
It was cool. It wasn't it was definitely an adjustment, but I from the first time I played with other musicians, I was like, this is really amazing. And especially because it brings my songs to life, to hear songs I write being played live with other people is really, really cool. So.
And do you write the majority of your songs?
Yes.
Okay.
I write all of them.
Oh, wow. Every single one? No covers?
Oh, well, yeah. No, I do covers,
Okay.
but like all of my songs I write by myself.
Okay, well, that's
and I
cool.
perform quite a few of them out when I play out. So.
And I understand there's a new record out.
Yes.
When did that happen?
That came out on August 3rd. The project is called the Acoustic Soul Recordings, and it's just a vocals and guitar concept. So it's just 3 songs. This is volume 1, and I'm hoping to do volume 2 hopefully like the end of this year, maybe December, and then do a complete in the spring with a couple more songs as well.
Have you already written volume 2?
I think so, but we'll see. Sometimes new ones slip in there, and then you're like, oh, I should do this one instead of this one. So we'll see. It's a puzzle.
Where do you begin to develop your interpretation of a song that you've just created?
How
does the final version evolve for your audience?
I think it just depends. It's all about the lyrics for me. So the way I perform it, the overall composition of the song, it's all about the message, even more so than like the music, if that makes sense. Like everything, the dynamics, everything comes from what the message of the song is, and how I want people to feel when they listen to it, how I want people to know I feel when I'm singing it.
So do you start generally with the lyrics and then develop?
Yeah. Sometimes I will come up with, little riffs or little chord progressions, and I'll be like, oh, I really like this. But if the right lyrical concept hasn't come along yet, I definitely wait for that, because that's the most important thing for me.
So if you consider your entire catalog of music, do you find emerging themes that are based or somewhat limited by the fact that you've just now turned 21? Are you within certain themes, or do you feel like you're mature beyond your writing years?
Well, I have been told that. I don't know if I should say that about myself. I love to tell stories, and so, like some of the songs you'll hear today are stories about myself. Another one is a story that I've just written by observations, whether it's things I've seen in my short life or stories I've heard, or just general themes that I've noticed. So I guess it kind of goes everywhere. It's just whatever pops into my head, but everything is really story-based, if that makes sense.
Right. Have you ever written something about somebody and not told them, but yet had them recognize themselves? Has anybody come and says, I think that's about me?
I don't know.
So I had that experience one time, and they were like, I know that's me in that song. And I'm like, it might be.
I don't think so.
I didn't confirm or deny it. But it's kind of fun when they realize.
Yeah. I don't know if that's happened yet. If it has.
Yeah.
They haven't told me yet, but maybe that'll happen at some point in the future.
What do you have on the books now? Any gigs coming up?
Yeah, I'm going to be at Starving Artist Cafe in Norfolk
Okay.
on Saturday, which I don't know what day Saturday
You don't actually
is.
have to be a starving artist to get a gig.
No.
do you? I'm worried.
No. No, Starving Artist is wonderful. So that's in Norfolk. And then I am going to be at the next second Sunday.
Oh, nice. This is on the 8th?
Yes.
No, 9th of September.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, and then I'm actually also going to be in Gloucester at their First Friday event.
First Friday.
First Friday. They do
Okay.
First Friday, so I'll be at First Friday in September, then second Sunday.
Oh my gosh, that could really
yeah.
be tricky if you have another layer of calendar you have to remember each
Yeah.
time.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Okay. And have you done those events before?
No, I've never played Second Sunday or been out to Gloucester and done First Friday, so those are two new ones.
Oh, you'll have a blast, and I'm sure they'll love you at Second Sunday.
I hope
It's a
so.
good time.
I hope so.
Wow. The last time you were in Williamsburg was, I think, at the Triangle. Or was there another one since then?
Actually, I was just at Barrett's last
that's
night.
right. Okay, you did tell me
yeah.
that. Well, that's awesome. And how did they receive you there?
They're wonderful. I love playing at Barrett's because there's always a lot of people because it's outside, and especially when the weather is nice. And the staff is so nice. I have a friend who bartends there. And there's always lots of little kids too, and little kids respond so well to live music.
Sure they
so
do.
that's
Yeah.
always fun for me.
Yeah.
It's a great gig. I really enjoy
Well,
playing at
let's talk
Barrett's.
about the fact that you grew up in Williamsburg. This is your hometown.
Yeah.
I don't have a lot of artists that come in here that can actually say that they grew up here. How do you think that's influenced your music? It's a good place to grow up and
Yeah.
get a solid foundation.
Yeah, I don't know. I honestly don't know how to answer that. I guess for sure, like when I'm writing about my childhood, I will pull like visual things from like this place
Sure.
that I grew up in and kind of incorporate that into the lyrics. Or I just recently wrote kind of a silly little song about how much I know this town, and then at the end I flipped it and I was like, but this town knows me because I grew up here.
That's a nice
and,
angle. I like that.
So
Is that on the new record?
no, that's quite new. It's like in the last month
Volume
or
4.
so, maybe.
Okay.
It's just a funny little song, just to get it out. I wrote it, so yeah.
That sounds great. What's your first song you're going to do for us today?
So this song is called "All Those Pretty Roses," and I actually wrote it last fall.
Okay.
And it is just, I guess it's kind of my take on the phrase "stop and smell the roses." So.
I like that.
Thanks. We take each breath as if it's guaranteed. We cash out every moment like it's cheap. We'll drop in days like pocket chains down a sidewalk gray like they own me. Anything. And they say stop and smell the flowers while you're living. You never know just what you'll be missing, because the trees only change but once a year, and you may never come back here. And it ain't every night you can have that extra beer if you want. Well, some of us only get to love one time, so treat her well and hold him tight. But listen when your heart says that it's time to move on, 'cause just when you think your garden is filled, well, all those pretty roses will wilt. Pick 'em while you can. We stay in line to bypass any risk. Single file like check marks on a list. And then we lose control down rabbit holes of evanescent bliss. We run the race just so we can finish. But the trees only change but once a year, and you may never come back here. And it ain't every night you can have that extra beer if you want. Well, some of us only get to love one time, so treat her well and hold him tight. But listen when your heart says that it's time to move on, 'cause just when you think your garden is filled, well, all those pretty roses will wilt. Pick 'em while you can and put 'em in a vase on your mama's kitchen counter. Well, count the hours that you're missing. No, you ain't missing nothing anymore. 'Cause the trees only change but once a year, and you may never come back here, and it ain't every night you can have that extra beer. If you want, some of us only get to love one time, so treat her well and hold him tight. But listen when your heart says that it's time to move on, and when you drive the fast lane down this road called life, remember that your roses will die. Pick 'em while you can.
Wow, I like that song very much.
Thank you.
And you know what? That answers my question about the maturity of your songwriting.
Oh.
That wasn't written by some teenager. Not at all.
Thank you.
That was a very interesting take on life.
Thank you.
So I appreciate that. If you are just joining us, you're listening to Super Sound Showcase, sponsored by Culture Fix on WMBG. I'm your host, Robert Hodge, and my guest today is Kate Stedelbauer. We have a couple of messages from some sponsors, and we will be right back. We are live on Facebook Live, and if you would like to stream with us, you can see what happens during the break, and then we'll be back with 2 more songs from this very talented young lady. We are back, and this is the new Super Sound Showcase, sponsored by Culture Fix on WMBG. Our guest today is Kate Stedelbauer, and I am your host, Robert Hodge. We are excited to hear your music. You're brand new to being 21 years old. You are facing a beautiful career in front of you, and you're doing so well with it. And what's the next song?
This next song is called Leave Me Be, and honestly, it's one of the most personal songs I've ever written, and the reason I wanted to put it on this project is because I think other people will relate to it as well, because I was so honest. I'm hoping other people will pick up on that.
Well, you know, it's an interesting topic when you say that the song felt very personal. I always felt like I started as an instrumentalist, and that was a certain kind of vulnerability to be out there performing, but it wasn't until I began singing that I realized, well, then it's not me playing an instrument, it's I am the instrument. And it's a different kind of judgment that you face from an audience, and yet another level of vulnerability when you write the song from your heart, and then they're judging the content of your heart. So how do you deal with that sometimes? Do you worry about what people think?
The only time I ever worry is when I'm writing a vulnerable song specifically about someone, but other than that, like just about what their reaction would be if they knew it was about them. Whereas I've never really been shy in talking about how I feel. So
good, because I think the most rewarding thing you can experience as an artist is when you are brave enough to just lay it out there and watch people respond and even be helped by it. So let's hear this song. This sounds great.
Was a little girl who liked to do things on her own, but I've grown up to be a woman who likes to run from the unknown. And they say protect your heart, well I've been doing that since I was 12 years old. And I'm scared of flying, so I drive down winding highways in the dark, 'cause I like to know the feeling of my hand steering car, although I know at the end of this road I was never in control the way I thought. So leave me be, let me sleep. I'm paralyzed by everything my eyes can see. Let me go, and maybe one day I'll know how it feels to live a life that's truly free. Somebody please give me the steps to detach feelings from 2 eyes or 2 hands that I keep holding, 'cause I'm too weak to say goodbye. Well, lonely is as lonely does, but somehow I can't trust the work of time. Well, these thoughts are always on my mind, so leave me be, let me sleep. I'm paralyzed by everything my eyes can see. Let me go, and maybe one day I'll know how it feels to live a life that's truly free. Leave me be. Dreamed I'd have this problem, that my mind could use some help, but I popped my sanity in pink pills from a bottle on a shelf, and I ain't wired. I just get tired of holding up the world with my own back, and there ain't nothing wrong with that. So leave me be, let me sleep. I'm paralyzed by everything my eyes can see. Let me go, and maybe one day I'll know how it feels to live a life that's truly free. Leave me be. Oh, leave me be. Please.
Wow, what a great song. Excuse the technical interruption here, but we just had like an explosion in the chimney or something happened. Wow. Okay, well that shook that right out of my head. But you know what what I was thinking was, it's such a great song, and I'm wondering, a lot of times there are performers that find when they're on stage that the world stops to exist as they know it, and that's the freedom. Do you find it there? Do you find it on stage?
Sometimes, yeah. I think when I fully let myself relax, I have to not think about the people that are listening to me,
right.
And just think about like what I'm sharing with them, especially when I know people are, there to see me, to listen. It's one thing to play in a crowded bar where no one's listening. It's another thing to play in a room full of people that want to hear what I have to say, and so I think that's definitely,
well, it's the greatest luxury you'll ever know as a performer, when people come to a theater just waiting to see what you've brought them. That's when you know you truly are able to enjoy your own artistic freedom.
Yeah.
So that's great. And you have another song for us.
Yeah.
What is it?
This song is called Boy Named Sunday, and it's hopefully, I'm like 99% sure it'll be on the next project, Volume 2. And it took me a while to write it, because I really wanted to get the story right, to get the message right. So, yeah.
Okay.
Well, once there was a boy named Sunday. He lived right down the street. Had a golden heart that the devil been chasing since the earth had touched his feet. Well, Sunday lived in a double-wide prison, dodging bottles for he knew his name. But Mama still cried the day Daddy died, and a few folks came. Well, just as all of the town suspected, he shot up tall and strong. 17 like a redwood tree and a haggard song. He never knew quite what to say, but he told the truth and he didn't complain, and he don't watch his truck even when it rained. Oh, Sunday. Well, Sunday lived for Saturday nights. The other boy shot pool, he was playing moonlight. Mama to church on Sunday, drove Mama to church on Sunday. eyes and late night drives. He never met one like her. He talked too much and called his bluff and changed his word. And in the fall of 55, there were grits with a baby girl. And Sunday cried the day she arrived, and the whole town heard. Well, Sunday lived for Saturday nights, front porch dancing with the loves of his life. Well, he worked all day to pay the price, but he still woke up early on Sunday. Still woke up early on Sunday. And well, through Sunday's years of fixing gears and lifting heavy loads, so grew worn and weathered like those country roads he drove. And like all those nights he spent spinning straw to strands of gold, it's proof that where you come from don't decide where you will go. Well, Sunday passed when he was 89, in a rocking chair drinking homemade wine. The sky was gold over the mountainside, and when the preacher started talking, the whole town cried. And he said Sunday lived for Saturday nights. He was a gentleman of an iron mind, and for the love of living and Jesus Christ, well, he still got to church on Sunday. Still got to church on Sunday. Sunday lived for Saturday nights, and with careful hands he built a life. And for the love of living and Jesus Christ, well, he still got to church on Sunday. Still got to church on Sunday. Still got to church on Sunday. Still got to church on Sunday.
My goodness. Kate Stedelbauer, that was a wonderful song. And you know, I see now why people are attracted to your music. I really do. I get it. And this music, it has a certain depth, and you are absolutely right. You the key when you made the statement earlier about liking to tell stories, and you tell the story with the beginning, the middle, and the end, and it is the complete story. So I admire your writing skills. It's pretty impressive.
Thank you.
So thank you for sharing your gifts with us today.
Thank you for having me.
It is my pleasure, and happy birthday again. I'm sure everybody will wish you well. And you are listening to Super Sound Showcase, sponsored by Culture Fix. Kate will be out on second Sundays. She will be out on Prince George Street and in the Merchant Square area. And you can go and hear her. What time is your show? Do you know?
It is 2 to 5, and I think I'm on North Boundary Street.
Oh, okay, on North Boundary, okay.
I'm on North Boundary from 2 to 5.
Okay, well, go and look for Kate. You cannot miss her. She's a beautiful young lady with red hair. So by all means, go out and tell her you heard her on WMBG and Super Sound. And of course, Second Sundays is put on by our friends at Culture Fix, who sponsored this show. So I'm sure they will be happy to see you there as well. So thanks for listening. As always, we wish Jacob Roberts the best as he goes on into his next chapter. And don't look so humble. It's a good thing. And but we wish everybody growth and success, and especially you, Kate, because I expect great things out of you.
Thank
you. Come back and keep us posted, okay? I am Robert Hodge. Thank you for listening. And here is Linda Ronstadt. I wonder if she'd like to do Super Sound Showcase. Hurt So Bad.